Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Advertise with Sahara Football. Call us now.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football. It's a fine morning here. As usual, I'm your host Selassie. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about performances of Ghanaian players abroad. Unfortunately, last week I couldn't bring you performance of Ghanaian players abroad. Apologies for that. We're covering the CAF Confederations Cup, so many other things came up and we could not bring you performance of Ghanaian players abroad. This week we are bringing you performances of Ghanaian players abroad. Adomah made headlines. He scored a goal after coming on as a 65th minute substitute, and also Alfred Duncan continued his great form for SASSUOLO. He scored a goal in that game as well, but unfortunately they lost. So I'll be bringing you that and many more across the group from Ghanaian players. As usual, if you are new to the channel, I advise you to subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell to get more updates. So over the weekend, some great fixtures took place, and there were some great performances from, as usual, amazing players, most notably Lionel Messi on Sunday night, Real Betis versus FC Barcelona. He scored a hat-trick, and it was so great to see Lionel Messi in action once again. It was great. He was an inspired form for Barcelona. They won that game 4-1. Unfortunately, Kevin Prince Boateng, on the Ghanaian perspective of things, was not included in that game. He was on the bench. At least he was named in the squad, but was on the bench. I'm interested in the Ghanaian perspective of things. I'll start off from England. So I'll start off with England, and in England the first game I'll be looking at is Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Yes, we all know for Newcastle we have Christian Atsu. In this game he was a 72nd minute substitute, and the game ended 2-2. Newcastle had to settle for a draw. Bournemouth have been in great form recently. Newcastle too as well, and Atsu, unfortunately, as a substitute, could not find that all-important third goal that could have given his team the vital win. The game ended in a 2-2 draw between the two clubs, and they shared the spoils on the day. So Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 2, Christian Atsu, a 72nd minute substitute. Now to my next game is Burnley versus Leicester City, and we all with Leicester City we have our very own Daniel Amate. He has been injured since November last year, and he's still not back. From that injury setback, and unfortunately Daniel Amate is still out with the injury. That game between Burnley and Leicester City ended in a 1-1 draw, and Leicester City, as we all know, have a new manager in Brendan Rodgers after a poor run of form by Claude Puel. I was actually surprised by the sacking of Claude Puel, but apparently management of Leicester City wanted a different manager, and they got themselves one in Brendan Rodgers, who had left Celtic for Leicester City. I think the allure of the Premier League is nothing you can't resist easily, and Brendan Rodgers has felt that before, and I'm sure was looking for a way back in, and he has it now with Leicester City. My next game is Watford versus Crystal Palace. Now Watford took on Crystal Palace in the FA Cup. As you know, this weekend there was FA Cup and Premier League action concurrently going on, and Watford beat Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, we all know we have Jeffrey Schlupp and Jordan Ayew. Jeffrey Schlupp played the full 90 minutes, but unfortunately Jordan Ayew was an unused substitute in that game. Michy Batshuayi got the consolation goal for what turned out to be a consolation goal for Crystal Palace. Watford move on to the semi-finals of the FA Cup and a chance to win a major tournament this year. Remember, Manchester City are still in it after a controversial 3-2 win over Swansea City. The FA Cup was really interesting. Now Aston Villa, I moved to the Championship. Aston Villa played Middlesbrough and they won 3-0. Adomah scored. He was a substitute. He helped his team. He scored a brilliant goal. He scored a goal for them. Adomah, unfortunately, was not included in the Black Star squad. I am wondering why. I think he has been doing well in the Championship to deserve a call-up to the Black Stars, but unfortunately Adomah did not get a call-up to the Black Stars. Maybe Coach Kwesi Appiah has his reasons. Maybe he'll be included in the final AFCON squad. Your guess is as good as mine. So but Adomah grabbed the goal over the weekend for his Aston Villa side in a 3 ramping of Middlesbrough. The final game in the Championship I'll be looking at is Stoke City versus Reading. It ended in a 0-0 draw. Andy Adam, who is part of the Black Stars squad, was in that game, and the game ended in a 0-0 draw. He kept his clean sheet, great job as a defender, but the 3 points eluded them and they had to share the spoils in the end with Stoke City. So I move to Spain right now, and you know, in Spain we have Barcelona, Kevin Prince Boateng there, but I'll start off with Huesca versus Deportivo Alaves. And with that game, Mubarak Wakasu was with Deportivo Alaves. Mubarak Wakasu came on in the 85th minute as a substitute, but his team were already leading 3-1, and he came on to secure that win 3-1, and they won the game, 3 points all backed, and he was part of that team eventually. They won 3-1 in the end. To my next game is Atletico Bilbao versus Atletico Madrid. We all know midweek Atletico Madrid bottled the Champions League round of 16. They had won the first leg 2-0. Thomas Partey and his teammates, they had won the first leg 2-0. But unfortunately, they met Cristiano Ronaldo, a very determined Cristiano Ronaldo who wanted to help his team Juventus progress to the other round. He grabbed a hat-trick on the day, and Atletico Madrid did not have any answer for him. They lost that game 3-0, and this weekend that theme continued. They were beaten by Atletico Bilbao 2-0, and it was quite unfortunate. Diego Simeone, we all know, prides himself in defensive solidity, but twice in the same week, conceding 5 goals and scoring none is something he will have to look at, and I think Simeone, being the coach he is, he will find a solution eventually. So to my next game is Albacete Balompié versus Extremadura. Extremadura versus Albacete Balompié. We all know Sule Muntari recently signed for Albacete Balompié, but unfortunately they won this game 1-0. But unfortunately, Sule Muntari was not in the squad, the 80-man squad that's traveled that played at home. Sule Muntari was not included in that squad as well. And Real Betis took on FC Barcelona on Sunday night. A magical performance by Lionel Messi by all standards. I think we should be used to this by now, but the guy just seems to surprise us almost every time you watch him play. Messi was brilliant on the night, scoring a hat-trick, Suarez with the other goal. Kevin Prince Boateng unfortunately was an unused substitute. He was included in the squad, but he was an unused substitute in this game. So that's it for Barcelona versus Real Betis. We move to Germany now, and it has to do with our very own Bernard Tekbete. He played for Paderborn in German League 2. Paderborn took on Ingolstadt, and Bernard Tekbete played 79 minutes but could not contribute significantly to that game. Paderborn won the game 3-1 to Ingolstadt, and Bernard Tekbete contributed 79 minutes to that game. It was a great game. He had a great time. His team won the 3 points, and I think that's the most important thing there for Bernard Tekbete and his teammate. Now, Stuttgart took on Hoffenheim in the German Bundesliga, and Kasim Adams was suspended. He could not take part in that game. He had a suspension and could not take part in that game. I moved to Belgium, and we know with Belgium Genk, we have Joseph Bezel and Joseph Edu, who have been given. Joseph Edu has been giving his Black Stars call-up recently. He's a defender, a very great one. He made it into the UEFA Europa League Breakout Team of the Season, and which Kwesi Appiah feels this is the time for the 21-year-old to make it his debut for the Black Stars in a friendly against Kenya. He has been called by Coach Kwesi Appiah and Joseph Edu and Joseph Bezel. Unfortunately, in the game over the weekend against Zolts, they were not included in the squad. The game was a 3-3 thriller, and unfortunately those two were not in the squad. I think maybe that's why they conceded 3 goals. Yeah, you agree with me, because Joseph Edu has been great in defense for Genk this season, and he has proven his worth for the club. I move on to Turkey, and we have Fenerbahce versus SASSUOLO'S. John Ayew played a full 90 minutes in this game. Fenerbahce fortunately won 2-1 and are moving in the right direction of late from relegation, and I think this was a great result. This was played on Friday night, and Andre Ayew played 90 minutes. The new captain of the Black Stars squad, he will lead the Black Stars against Kenya this Saturday. So my next game is Kayserispor versus Medipo, and Kayserispor drew 1-1 in this game. Asamoah Gyan came on in the 82nd minute. We all know Bernard Mensah is still injured for Kayserispor, and Gyan played in the 82nd minute. He was on as an 82nd minute substitute. I moved to Italy, and the Milan derby took place. AC Milan versus Inter Milan, and Coach Asamoah was in defense for Inter Milan as they beat AC Milan 3-2 on the night. It was an interesting game, and a lot of goals, 5 goals shared between the two teams. Inter Milan fortunately got the win on that occasion, and Coach Asamoah was there to oversee that win. Now I move to the next game, and it's Empoli versus Frosinone. We all know with Empoli we have a free Aqua. A free Aqua was at 78 minutes substitute, and Frosinone we have Yusuf Rahman Chepsa. Rahman Chepsa played 60 minutes before he was substituted in that game as well, and Rahman Chepsa, many feel, why wasn't he called to the Black Stars? A free Aqua has been called. Rahman Chepsa has still not been called to the Black Stars, and many Italian tabloids were surprised by that. I think I brought you the story here on this channel about Rahman Chepsa's exclusion from the Black Star squad. It's quite unfortunate that he wasn't part of the squad. He isn't part of the squad that will be facing Kenya this weekend. To my next game, and it's Napoli versus Udinese. Yes, Napoli took on Udinese. Nicolas Opoku, we all know, plays for Udinese. Unfortunately, Nicolas Opoku is suspended and was not even in the squad. Unfortunately, as well for him, Napoli beat Udinese 4-2 on the night, and it was a great step for Napoli, who are looking to secure Champions League qualification. Now Sassuolo took on Sampdoria, and great news for Ghana. Alfred Duncan scored a goal for Sassuolo, but they lost to Sampdoria 5-3. Yes, Alfred Duncan unfortunately could not help his team despite his goal. It was 5-3. Sampdoria scored more. To my final game, and it's Torino versus Bologna. Godfred Donsa was an unused substitute for Bologna as they beat Torino 3-2. So that has been it for today. I've been looking at performances of Ghanaian players abroad. Kudos to Alfred Duncan and Albert Adomah, who were the goal scorers over the weekend. From the Ghanaians' perspective of things, they were great over the weekend. They helped their team to victory. One contributed to a goal, but not to victory. Actually, it was a 5-3 loss there for Alfred Duncan and Sassuolo. Fortunately, over the weekend, Kumasi Asante Kotoko could not secure qualification to the quarterfinal of the CAF Confederations Cup. It was quite a sad occasion. They scored first, but defensive lapses from the Porcupine Warriors was their undoing, and they paid the price for it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.